The golden calf. The Israelites camped at Mount Sinai for a long time. God had a lot of instructions he wanted to give Moses. These instructions would help the Israelites to be healthy, to get along well with each other, and to know how to worship God. Moses went up Mount Sinai to talk with God. While Moses was there, God wrote the 10 Commandments on 2 pieces of stone. God wrote the words with his finger. Moses was on the mountain for 40 days, and the people waited and waited for him to come back. They started to wonder if he was ever going to come back. Maybe he had died up there. The people said to Aaron, Moses' brother, "Where is Moses, the man who led us out of Egypt?" They had forgotten that it was really God who led them out, not Moses. "I don't know," Aaron replied. "Well," the people said, "let us make another God to lead us, because we don't know where Moses is or when he will come back to us." What was Aaron going to do? Was he going to remind them that just 40 days before, God had come down on the mountain in front of them? Could they forget God that fast? Aaron did not do the right thing. He listened to them and announced, "Give me your gold earrings." The people took off their earrings and gave them to Aaron. He melted the gold and shaped it like a calf. The people said, "Look, here is our God. This is the God that brought us out of Egypt. We will worship it." Does that make sense? Imagine praying to your couch or your stuffed animal. Can the couch give you food to eat? Can it make plants grow? Could your stuffed animal save you if you were in an accident? What a silly idea. When Aaron saw the people worshiping the idol, he built an altar in front of the calf and made an announcement. Tomorrow we will have a celebration. Early the next morning, the people got up and offered burnt offerings to the golden calf and worshipped it instead of God. They ate and drank and had a big party. God saw what the people were doing. He was angry when he saw the people worshiping the golden calf. Do you remember what the first and second commandments were that God gave the people? The first commandment says, love God more than you love anything else. And the second, do not make any idols or worship them. Were the people obeying those rules? Not at all. God said to Moses, look at what the people are doing. Go down, Moses. The people are doing wicked things. Moses started down the mountain with the pieces of stone on which God had written the 10 Commandments. Soon he heard the shouting of the people who were worshiping the golden calf. When he saw them worshiping and dancing around the calf, he got so angry that he threw down the stones and they broke into pieces. Moses took the calf away from them. He melted it in the fire, ground the gold into powder, and sprinkled it into the water. Then he made the people drink the water with the gold powder. It tasted very bad. Moses said to Aaron, what did these people do to you that you helped them to sin? Oh, don't be angry, Moses, Aaron said. You know, these people find it easy to do bad things. They said, make us gods who will lead us. We don't know what has happened to Moses. So the people gave me their gold. I threw the gold into the fire, and out came this calf. Was Aaron telling the truth? He was trying to get out of trouble by making excuses. God was very unhappy with the people for having another God instead of him, so he punished them. 3,000 men died. Moses prayed for the people. Oh God, please forgive their sin.
Hello, children. It is time for another children's video, and today, like we said a couple weeks ago, we are going to finish up the Easter Advent eggs. So the idea behind this project is 2 weeks before Easter, you would get this carton around, and then you would open 1 egg per day in the 2 weeks leading up to Easter. Well, Easter is long gone, and that's okay. We're going to open these eggs again anyway. We are ready for the 7th egg. So Elisa, you can go ahead and get this egg, and let's see what's inside. Okay, this one is a little bit of a stretch, but can you unroll that blanket thing? That's supposed to be a sleeping mat. That's supposed to be a sleeping mat, and then this is a scroll with a whole bunch of markings on it. Elliot, can you show it to us? It's supposed to look like a Hebrew or something. So the sleeping mat and the prayer scroll reminds us of the story of Jesus' prayer in the garden, a night of prayer. So after the Passover supper, Jesus took his disciples to the Mount of Olives, and there he spent the night praying, and the other disciples were too sleepy. They fell asleep. Okay, Cedric, the next egg. What story goes with this egg? Okay, so this fast forwards in the time a little bit. During the garden, Jesus was betrayed, and he was captured, and he was taken before the civil authorities, and they whipped him, and so that's the whip, and they put a crown of thorns on his head. And this actually literally is made out of a thorny vine from our landscaping. And that story is right here. Jesus is mocked, and he's forced to carry his own cross, and he has a crown of thorns on his head. And there's Jesus on his way to the crucifixion site. Okay, Elliot, egg number 9. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. Can you turn the cross around so it looks right for us? Yeah. Some small trim nails and a wooden cross. Those objects remind us of the story of Jesus' crucifixion, when he was literally nailed to a cross, crucified for the sins of the world. Okay, Elisa, back to you. Egg number 10, the pink egg. Let's see what objects are in here. Okay, here we have a spear and some dice. Now, we don't know exactly what the soldiers used for their dice. It probably wasn't cubes like that, but they used some kind of random chance, and that specific story isn't in here, so we'll just use this story, the death of Jesus. But before he died, the soldiers stabbed him in the side to make sure he was dead, and then also sometime they cast lots for his clothing. His robe was made out of one piece of woven material, and it wasn't sewn together, so they didn't know where to tear it. So instead of tearing it up, they cast lots. Okay, they cast lots to see who would get the garment. Okay, Cedric, second to last egg, the blue egg. Do you remember what's inside? Here we have some burial cloth, gauze. Can you unroll it for us, Cedric? Some gauze, some burial cloth, and a rock. What story does that remind us of, Cedric? Do you remember? Elliot, do you remember?
The stone is supposed to represent the stone that Jesus lay on.
It could be.
No. It's the one that rolled over.
There you go. Yes, the one they used to seal the tomb. Yeah, and then what's that?
Represents like the cloth that was wrapped around Jesus.
Yes, yeah. Some of Jesus' friends, right here's this story. Some of Jesus' friends asked to take his body down right away, and they wrapped him in clothes, and then they buried him in a tomb, and they used a big stone to seal it up. Okay, we have one final egg, and this is the most important egg. If what's inside that egg wasn't real, then all the other eggs wouldn't mean anything. But let's see what's so special about what's inside this egg. Oh, did we forget to put something inside? No. Did we forget, Elisa? No. Cedric, did we forget to put something in that egg? Okay, no, we didn't forget. We did that on purpose because the empty egg reminds us of the empty tomb. 3 days later, Jesus came back to life. He was nailed to a cross. He was stabbed in his side. He was whipped. He died. He was buried. But he rose again. And just like that empty egg, Jesus' tomb is empty because he is alive. And that is the main story of the Easter eggs. Do you want to do Easter eggs next year?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We need to remember 2 weeks before Easter next year, okay? Have our own Easter Advent. Okay, those were our Easter eggs. We hope you enjoyed them. And that is all for today. Goodbye.